Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Knapik. Every week, we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions for ideas to enhance your success in all aspects of life. Successful Living with Bill Knapik starts right now. Here's Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Successful Living, once again with Jenna and Bill. And once again, we are on location at the Federal American Grill, the original Federal American Grill. Jenna, how about that? How does this all come together?
I know. Well, you know I love me some Federal Grill, Bill. And Federal is now going to be sponsoring a monthly show, so we get to meet so many of their amazing people, which is really cool.
You mean another amazing person we're going to talk to today?
Another one. And the cool thing is, I was saying, the coolest part about this show is I get to know all of these awesome people a little better. I'm just constantly bugging them for stuff, but now I actually get to talk to them. So.
Well, and so is everyone else is going to get to know. In fact, our first guest, once again, we're going to start from the top, the general manager,
Yep.
Nick Garcia. Hey, Nick, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Nick, this location is one of my favorites because it's got so much character.
Yeah.
I mean, we're right in front of the bar, which I love. It's gorgeous. And you guys basically recently had a redo, right? Like a kitchen redo, a little bit of the bar redo.
Yeah. So we redid our kitchen. You know, our guys in the back are very, very deserving of some top quality materials and tools and everything to make sure we deliver on a consistent basis. But we redid our kitchen, our floors, you know, brand new coolers in the back, everything. So
That's
awesome. Our guys are loving it a lot. So yeah.
Well, I want to circle back, Bill, to like all that Shepherd specifically has to offer, but I want us to get to know you a little bit first, right?
Okay.
So, Nick, I've only known you for a little while.
Yeah.
We work together here with Federal,
Yeah.
but tell me, like, where'd you come from? Where'd you grow up? And, like,
Sure.
how'd you end up making your way to the Federal family?
Yeah, so, you know, I was originally from Victoria, Texas, born and raised. You know, went to high school. When I graduated high school, went to College Station. Was there for about 5 years. Got started in the restaurant business, following my older brother. Really couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, so I got a job waiting tables with him. On our summer break, actually, back in Victoria. Didn't really think anything of it because I was pretty young and still just trying to figure some things out. You know, ended up working at a cafe in College Station and kind of started figuring out what the restaurant business was all about, you know, from a server standpoint, and ended up becoming a trainer there and head waiter and worked my way up there. Well, when I moved to Houston in 2010, I got a job with Sullivan's Steakhouse. It was Del Frisco's restaurant group. Loved the company, the culture, and everything was where I wanted it to be. And started there as a server. Worked my way up as a bartender and a trainer. And then I was asked shortly after that to start opening restaurants as a server trainer.
Oh, wow. So you had a knack for it, clearly.
Yeah. I started to really fall in love with it when I started to do the new store openings. So as a corporate trainer, I was doing new store openings. I did my first one in South Lake for the Del Frisco's Grill concept, and I loved it. Had a great time. As much fun and work it is, it's an amazing experience to go through. You learn a lot about yourself and how far you can push yourself as far as working that many hours in one day, and it's great. And then I was asked to do another one, and so total I did 4, 2 in California, and then 1 in Florida and 1 in South Lake, and fell in love with it. So shortly after that, I was asked if I wanted to take an opportunity as a store manager, and so I took that opportunity and ran with it. And at Sullivan's, when we closed, I moved to Del Frisco Steakhouse in the Gallery Mall. I was the assistant GM there for about 3 years, and then after that, the last year I was there, I was the wine director, and that was just an amazing experience.
I bet that was really fun.
It was. Well, the wine was really great.
That's my jam.
Yeah. It was awesome. You know, it's from learning the whole managerial aspect of everything, and then, you know, the ordering and managing and everything about running a business properly. You know, that's really where I cut my teeth and developed myself, and I had a great time. And so when I left there in 2000, just after COVID, I did a stint with a Tex-Mex concept, Lupe Tortilla, which I still love their food to this day. I love it.
We're all in agreement
there.
We'll
soon as he said Sullivan's, a lot of people remember Sullivan's.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great concept. We had a
spots.
nice private band area with the dance hall in the back in the back of the restaurant. But
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
remember
right.
that?
I spent some
piano,
good time
some
there.
of them had the piano trio, and
so we had a piano guy in the front and then live band after dinner in the back.
That was super fun because it
Yeah.
felt kind of secret, like a little
Right.
speakeasy-ish.
Yeah.
And then,
No, it was
yeah.
good. It was an awesome experience, especially bartending back there. But when I was with Lupe Tortilla, I learned a lot about systems and how standard operating procedures are supposed to be developed and implemented into the restaurant business. But after that, I started reaching out because I knew I was just kind of missing something. Lupe Tortilla was great. I learned a lot, but as far as the presentations of the wine, the experience, and hospitality, and in that whole aspect of the restaurant business, it was just missing at Lupe. So I decided to kind of reach out and see what was out there. And luckily enough, I found Federal and I landed here, and it's amazing. I love it. I definitely, I think the reason why I bought in from the get-go, because it reminded me a lot of Del Frisco's restaurant group when I was with that company. And, just the people in every position at the top, of course, starting with Matt Bryce. And then you have, Eric, our culinary director, and Kevin Vo, our director of ops. These guys and girls at the home office, and a lot of people behind the scenes that people don't understand and realize how much a positive effect they have on our company. They put in so much work every single day to make sure things are in place that they don't get a lot of credit for. So, but I'm glad to be here, and working at the original location is a blessing in itself. So.
It's really cool.
One of the themes that's emerging here, as we've talked and had people from the Federal Grill, from the owner to Eric and so many others, it's interesting. And I think for the diner, when we come in to enjoy the food and drink at the Federal American Grill, it's an experience that encompasses professionals that reach far and wide with some of the greatest restaurants and some of the concepts and the knowledge that you have, Nick, and everyone else at the Federal Grill. The next time I have lunch or dinner, I'm going to have that. Wow, the people behind the scenes, including Matt, have had so much restaurant experience. So when the food comes on the plate, the presentation, the service, we're the beneficiaries of all that put together. It's awesome.
Yeah, you really can see that professionalism and depth of experience
Yeah.
throughout the organization.
Yeah, I think, I was thinking about it the other day, and I think we all have a purpose as far as everybody that's in the position that I'm in, and Sean at Hedwig, and LJ and Katie, and Dave in the Woodlands as general managers and operating partners. I think we're all supposed to be here. I think we've all come together for a reason. I think, a lot of us have very similar backgrounds in steakhouses and fine dining experience. And to kind of see where everybody's headed, it's amazing. I'm really excited about it, and like you said, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that it's good to know and not quite be able to say what's exactly about to happen, but just look forward to it because it's going to be amazing here in a few weeks.
Well, and you mentioned earlier one of the things you loved about Sullivan's and the Del Frisco group was the culture. I mean, talk to me about the Federal culture. We've talked a lot about that, but I feel like it's infused from Matt throughout the entire organization, and it's so key, right? How did that kind of impact you wanting to be here, and how do you see it as you're here?
I think, for me at least, I think it's the intangibles that people have and deliver a consistent experience that really makes me happy. I've always told people that I'm really selfish when it comes to hospitality, because it makes me feel better when I deliver an experience to a guest or a table or even a shift. And it makes me feel better than the experience that you're getting. So in a way, it's kind of selfish because I'm really doing it for myself, but it's a win-win kind of situation because you leave
definitely a win-win
with a positive experience. So, it's just what people have, and you can't really teach true hospitality. People really have to have it, in their blood. But, Matt's done a great job of forming the team and giving us a vision of where we're going. And a lot of us just have a knee-jerk reaction, calling audibles and making things happen. But, as far as the experience, Matt has a quote that we have right by our front door. It's about that quote itself says, people aren't paying for the food and the alcohol; they're paying for the experience and how you make them feel. And I've always told my guys and girls throughout my, my managerial career that, we want people to leave and come back, and when they leave, talk about how great of an experience they had, not necessarily what the food was. Yeah, the food's going to be great. The alcohol, the cocktails that we have a great beverage director and beverage program, but we want to make sure that they come back and enjoy the experience that they had again and again. So that's definitely what we're striving for on a daily basis.
That's awesome.
Having the experience. And like you're saying, as far as the experience you receive and others that enjoy serving, that is so important because, it's nice to be able to serve someone. That is a great feeling, but not everybody has that in them to begin with. So that's why it's so important for to have people like you and the people that are on your team in this location and everywhere else.
Right.
You got to start with the right people to begin with, right?
100%. And that's definitely one of the most, if not the most important thing, to make sure you have the right people, because if you think about it, your people are creating your product, right? You can buy food and buy all the alcohol, the best stuff in the world, but if your people aren't delivering on a consistent basis, it's a moot point. But I've always told my trainers and my employees, hey, look, and my managers as well, when we're looking for great people, I want to bring on people who are genuinely kind people that want to develop their knowledge, that have a goal, what they want to do in the next 3 to 5 years. Because even if they don't have experience, we can teach them, how to wait tables and do all the technical side of the service. But, there's definitely a difference in service and hospitality. Service is just, the technical delivery of a product, but the hospitality aspect of it is how you make them feel while you're delivering that product. So.
Yeah, no, that's key.
We want to remind people, here we are at the Federal American Grill, the original location, and it's kind of sort of like the last time we were at the Katy location, Jenna, in that we're looking across the traffic there. The strategic locations of all the grills is phenomenal. But Nick, let's tell people, as we say this is the original, how many years has this been here, right here on Shepherd?
Yeah, so Federal's been here for 10 years. We're actually throwing a huge party, an anniversary party that it's all starting to really come together on April 20th for our 10-year anniversary. So 2013 we opened up, and Matt, we had a meeting maybe a couple weeks ago, and Matt was in there, and of course you were in there as well, and we're throwing around a bunch of ideas, and Matt was just like, let's just throw a really awesome party. For those that are, the really great thing about it is, I walk around still to this day and I find new pictures that I haven't seen before. It's just the history on the walls with the pictures and everything that's been posted up there and screwed onto the walls over the past 10 years is amazing. You kind of go through the history of the restaurant and how it came, and pictures of Matt and from the beginning, and all the great loyal guests that have been coming to Federal for 10 years. So, but we're having a great time, and it's going to be amazing on April 20th when we throw this anniversary party.
Coming right up.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Everyone needs to reserve their spot. It's gonna be hopping, Gatsby style.
Gatsby themed. So we're gonna have a
Gatsby outfit. Right?
Contest, and we'll have a cigar roller outside and Gatsby themed servers and bartenders. We're actually going to bring back some old bartenders that used to work here years ago as kind of a celebrity bartender appearance, but it's going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be my first huge party outside of New Year's Eve at Federal. So if there's a few things we do really well, but throwing a big party is definitely one of those. So
putting events together, yes, you do very well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, talking about events, just on a daily basis, talk to us about if someone wants to host an event here, talk us through kind of the spaces that are available. We're looking out onto a gorgeous patio right now.
Yeah.
I know you have a room in the back. Kind of talk us through what the options are there.
Sure. Yeah. So, like you said, our patio is definitely something we want to utilize as much as possible when the weather permits. Of course, beautiful weather, our patio is packed. We utilize it for open dining seating, and then, of course, private events. If people want a cocktail or sit-down dinner, we can definitely do that. But our private room in our back area, it holds up to about 44 people. We can do that for cocktails, parties, or sit-down dinners, business luncheons.
Whiskey dinners.
Whiskey dinners, of course, are
Hosted
huge for us.
amazing whiskey dinners with you guys.
And wine dinners and everything like that. And then we have a kind of a speakeasy room that not a lot of people know about. It's just really cool to kind of brag about it, especially at this location because we're the only one that has
That's my
it.
favorite.
Yeah.
I just found
I have
out
not
about
seen
it.
it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, Bill.
Before
I'm
I
Take you on a little
obsessing
tour,
over
yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
it's a room that when Matt started utilizing it, it was just for his buddies that kind of needed a private room for a meeting or whatever. We utilize it for private dining. It holds up to about 14 people. But the cool thing about it, like I said, is it's kind of like a speakeasy room. So you actually kind of you have to go outside of the restaurant to come back into it, and it's really cool because you got to go through a couple doors and some kind of really speakeasy
knock.
looking.
My
There's a
interest
secret
is
knock.
Yeah, so
No name.
it's and our servers have to go back and forth through the outside door as well. So, but it's really cool. So the cool story that I always tell people about this is, and I told Matt, and he confirmed that it's fairly accurate, but don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story. But
That's right.
so before Federal, it was Branchwater Tavern, very similar layout, just no Christmas lights and of course the pictures on the wall and the quotes. And before that, it was a pool hall. Before that, it was a tire shop. And once it got to the pool hall, I was kind of skeptical. I was just, maybe people were just making things up. And so maybe 3 weeks ago, we had some work done in our bathrooms, and we had to cut some drywall out. And sure enough, as the guy called me into the bathroom to check out piping and stuff like that, I looked behind it, and there's a garage door. So it just confirmed, okay, maybe it was a tire shop. So apparently in the men's restroom and the women's restroom, there's garage doors, and it used to be a tire shop.
Oh my gosh.
So, but the cool story about the Lion's Den is when it was a pool hall, it was utilized as a poker room and kind of, having fun room as far as making some bets and yeah.
a lot of heritage.
Yeah, a lot of heritage
No comment
for sure.
if any of
yeah.
us have ever
I don't
visited.
want to give any details away,
Yeah.
but a lot of fun
Fascinating.
had back there. So they used to have, and we actually just posted it again up in that room. It was a poster that gave you the outs of when you're playing Texas Hold'em, and you have a certain amount of outs and your odds and to win the hand and stuff like that. So we found it in one of our closets that we had packed everything away for years and years, and we pulled it out, and Matt's like, put it back up there.
That's
and so,
cool.
yeah, but it's a really cool room to utilize as private dining. We didn't utilize it as private dining for a while, and then we thought, you know what, the story about this room is so cool. We got to start getting more and more people through it. So,
And that's one of the great things. I could see that here, but all your locations, especially if someone's by themselves or you're with a group, another person, every Federal American Grill has so many things to look at
yeah.
on the walls. And even as certain seats, you can watch the traffic go by.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I always like to watch every dinner come by that
Yeah.
comes my way because of the beautiful presentations and
Right.
to see how each dish, whatever I've ordered, yeah, I get to see that, but I also like to look around and see all the great dishes. But, yeah, fascinating, a lot of stuff to look at
Right.
in your restaurants.
Well, and it's cool you mentioned, and I think about, I don't know if you remember the old Palm where there were caricatures on the wall
Mm-hmm.
of everyone, which I loved.
Actually, mine was up. I had two
Was it?
caricatures.
Of course
yeah.
you did,
Oh,
Bill.
yeah.
I was always obsessed
Two
with
of
getting
them.
mine up there. I'm like, I'm going to get my caricature done, and I'm going to sneak paste it up
Yeah.
when we go every year,
Yeah.
Never happened, and now it's gone. But they did do a cool thing in the new one with them, which is kind of neat. But this is really like a blueprint of the last 10 years.
Right.
I was talking to Matt's wife, Jen Bryce, the other day, and she said, I personally framed and helped hang every single picture, quote,
Wow.
whatever, in that place. And I'm like, what? And we were over here for that anniversary meeting looking at some of these photos, and I'm like, wait, when was that?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a cool, timeline
Yeah.
of how Shepherd started it all, but how Federal Grill has really grown.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool story to kind of hear from Matt and Jen, everybody that started in the beginning. But, like I said earlier, going through the pictures and everything on the wall, it's
Yeah.
really cool to see the history.
And some great memories. I mean, that's a key part of the 10-year anniversary party coming up, right? Is to say thank you to all the loyal
Right.
customers and guests who have come through these doors for 10 years.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
And seeing the loyal guests come through and what we call, obviously the VIPs coming through And every time Matt comes in, it's almost as if the whole dining room and the whole bar stands up and goes to greet him because he just knows everybody, you know. And we've always kind of described this location as, you know, the cozy restaurant, that Cheers vibe to it, from the dark wood. And I've always told people these floors have been seasoned with a decade of loyalty, but you know, with the clean wood everywhere, and it just really gives off that vibe that you can't really duplicate at any of the other restaurants, even though they're all beautiful locations and they're doing really, really well. You just can't duplicate exactly what we have here. So.
And for anyone listening, whether you're right here in Houston, Texas, on the internet in another city, here is right here in Houston, Texas, as we're talking with the general manager of the Federal American Grill, the original location for 10 years on Shepherd in Houston, Texas. We're right here. Before we close this segment, Nick, what else should people know?
Well, you know, we have a lot of events coming up. We're doing a lot of great things in the community with our candlelighters, margarita contests, and it's for a great cause with children that unfortunately have cancer, and we're doing toy drives for that particular fundraiser. We're doing a lot of things throughout the community and food drops and donations and things like that. Of course, Easter is going to be a great opportunity for us to showcase our restaurant to a lot of new guests that haven't been here before. Of course, the anniversary,
Mother's Day after
Mother's
that.
Day, and then Derby is going to be huge for it. It's going to be my first Derby party, and I've heard nothing but amazing things. Of course, again, go back to the pictures. You see all these Derby pictures and and parties and going on. But a lot of cool stuff coming down very, very soon, and we're excited about it. So
that sounds awesome. And also, let's tell people the website for this restaurant.
Yeah, federalamerican.com is where you can find everything that you need to know about what's going on, upcoming events. You can reach out and make a reservation online, or book a room if you need to, and we're more than glad to take care of it for you.
Nick Garcia, General Manager of the Federal American Grill on Shepherd in Houston, Texas. They say this is the 4th largest city, soon to be the 3rd.
Yeah, well,
growing all the time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
More new customers every day, I bet.
Oh, I hope so. That's the goal. No doubt about it.
Well, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break and come right back.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
At P&R Creative, your story is our motivation. We want to tell your story in a way that resonates with your target market, whether that be your employees, your investors, potential customers, or a global television and film audience. Reach out to us through our website, prcreativegroup.com. That's prcreativegroup.com, or call us at 832-553-6208. 832-553-6208. Reach out to us. As we continue, here he is, the culinary director of the Federal American Grill, all the locations, Eric Aldis. Eric, welcome again.
Howdy, howdy.
Chef Eric.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Glad to be back. Excited. Working hard.
Yeah.
Getting ready for this. Everybody to have a great federal experience.
Well, that's right. It is about the experience, and that's what is memorable. We talk about flavors when we have a great experience at the Federal Grill. We talk about the flavors. We talk about the experience, and the people are so nice. The servers, the bar, everybody. You really have systems and procedures, and quite frankly, you're hiring the right people from the get-go. That's what I observe when I go.
We have a great team. We're restaurant people, so we kind of think about our roots and where we came from, and that comes from the top down. Matt's a restaurant guy. He's the best in the business that I've seen, and I'm pretty good at that. So he should take some pride in that. It's also about providing something that's craveable, right? Like craveable service, craveable hospitality. If you look behind us, all those craveable
whiskeys.
Oh my goodness, that
all
whole
sorts
bar.
of combinations of drinks
That's
that can be made, and
it's one of the most beautiful ones in the city, and
really is.
it's the original. So we're super excited about that as well.
Well, I want to tell people on that note, as we are making a video right here on location. So again, you may be right here in Houston, Texas. You'll want to see the video, or you're in another city or looking on YouTube, but you can simply go to radiobill.net. That's the easiest thing to tell you. You'll find your way to the website. You'll see this show right there.
So Eric, we're at Shepherd, the original location. coming up very soon in a couple weeks is the 10-year anniversary party. I want to talk about that, but I want you to talk about, you and Matt Bryce have known each other for a long time. I mean, you know the journey that it took to get here. Federal now has 5 locations and counting.
Yes, 5 going on 50.
By the minute, right?
Yeah, 5 going on 50.
Every time I open my Facebook, Matt's on a plane to a different location, ready to open a new restaurant. Talking about downtown, which we can talk about, but how exciting and meaningful is it as someone who's known him for so long? You've seen like the ups and downs it's taken, the hard work, the passion to get here. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So Matt and I, we worked together in the heyday of Moe's, a place for steaks, back in 2008.
Again, no comment on if I was there.
That was a fun time.
Place. Yes, that was great.
We automatic friends. Knew I could work with him forever. When Matt left the program there, we knew our paths would cross again, and we stayed in touch over the years through all the trials and tribulations, and the ups and downs, and to just see him, finally get what God had planned for him, and to continue to feed that. He treats people so well, and that goes throughout the whole culture of Federal. And so it's just, that path, watching how Federal has grown, I feel blessed just to be able to sit here today, and so proud of him, so proud of Nick, so proud of all the teams that we have, and just continue to work. It really feeds me to work harder to make sure everybody else just continues on this path,
How important is that culture that you talked about to continuing to grow in a way that's consistent and what Federal is all about? I mean, you guys truly do believe your motto that you want to impact every person that you touch.
Positively.
Right? Impact their life for the better.
Absolutely.
How important is your culture?
So, our core values are our foundation. So you can't build a house unless you have a good, sturdy foundation. And you got to prime before you paint, right? So nothing sticks if you don't prime. And so the culture and who we are and what we're about is very important. That it goes from the guys in the back of the house, the hostesses, the servers, management, all the way to the top. From Matt's aspect is if you treat people like you want to be treated and you treat them good, it's going to come back to you. I think he just shared a quote with us this morning, the SHIELD leadership team. Every morning, we wake up to something positive, something motivating, something that, where his head's at to kind of get us all, and it just trickles down. We'll take those quotes and start sharing them with the general managers and the kitchen managers, the chefs, and they'll pass it down to their people. And it's just the way a good company is ran, whether it is a big bank, a real estate agency, or a restaurant. We just treat our people good, and we don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, because if your people are happy, then they do such a great job treating the guests well, right?
They take it personally.
Yeah.
They take it to heart.
Amazing.
And it's the communication that it takes. I always say the restaurant business is 2 things: communication and simple math. And simple math is adding, subtracting, multiplying, division, counting. And if you can't do that, we have these little phones that we carry around that can take care of the simple math.
They will do it for you.
And I think pretty soon they're going to be able to communicate for us too. So
I know, right?
That's knocking out the 2 most important things in the restaurant industry. So there we go.
And it makes me think, as I come to the Federal American Grill, yes, but when I go to other restaurants or other services, you get a sense, especially with the person serving you, certainly at the door, someone welcoming you, but you get a sense of people at any given place, if they're happy, if they're glad to be there.
Absolutely.
And that is, it's so important to feel that, and it's genuine. I mean, you could tell when it's not there, and you could tell when it's there. I mean, like when you're traveling or on the way to Arizona at your location there, and
Saturday morning,
you go to another restaurant and you don't see it. I mean, it's like a blaring red light. I would, especially from your position.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to come to work happy, right? And the days of Hell's Kitchen are over. You don't want to you don't want anybody coming to work stressed out. We've got a lot of folks in our staff, in our company that are our company and our family that are fine dining background, but we have white tablecloths but we also have some things that aren't quite fine dining. I think we're fine casual. So we will.
I love that.
I like what he said. Okay.
It makes me smile every time that fine
You and I were thinking the
casual.
same thing. And he's going to do it a couple more
He
times.
will.
It just
He's
comes
got
out.
it down.
So
We
you know,
love that.
you come in for a burger or a beer, or you get a ribeye and a whiskey or a nice bottle of wine. Come here for date night, your business meeting. Come in for a simple lunch. You come watch the game. Have some cheeseburger egg rolls and these new Kung Pao ribs that we're about to bring out.
Yum.
This is it's the model behind Federal is really the culture and treating people right, and that's really what it comes down to.
Well, speaking of Kung Pao ribs, let's talk a little bit about. We're going to be unveiling some new menu items pretty soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of rolling them out, which is very exciting. Don't worry, cheeseburger egg rolls will remain intact.
Absolutely.
But talk to us a little bit about that, and then you've got some exciting things coming up on the menu front.
Absolutely. So everybody's got to remember that yes is the answer. So even if it's not on our menu, we're going to try our best to make it happen. You might have to give us a few minutes, but we're going to go above and beyond to make sure that it happens. So if anything that's on the menu now is hidden and it goes away, all you really have to do is ask, and 9 times out of 10, we're going to be able to do it for you. So we have the Kung Pao ribs. We're running a lot of features right now. We're really focused on efficiencies with our kitchens, our service, our bar. Some of the menu items that we have, we're just kind of refreshing things. It's been been a good 7 years since we've changed anything up. So we've been really focused on craveable drinks and craveable food and craveable service and things that will keep folks coming back when anybody thinks of going out to have a nice dinner. They're going to think
top
of Federal.
mind. You want top
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, those
Kinda
cheeseburger
like
egg
those,
rolls.
Are those onion strings
Onion
that
strings.
I just tried?
Yeah, and with the
Bill, they're like
I've not tried that.
crack.
Oh, we gotta
They're
get you
about
some.
to be on there.
Well, here's the thing that what you're saying, it leads to something that didn't happen by accident, but it has happened. There's a buzz about the Federal American Grill. When I talk to people and I mention, we're going to do a show there, or I had lunch or dinner, there's a connection that's made that happened over time. Apparently, it's a super reputation that you have, but it's just even in other things. Oh, Federal American Grill. Oh, well, let's go here. The buzz is there, and now the pressure is to keep that going, and your systems and procedures, who you're hiring, all that comes into play, no doubt. But I bet it's, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
And there you are in your new location in Arizona, so that is fertile ground. Whenever a couple months ago, you opened it, right?
Yes, sir.
So when that was open, there's the laboratory to say, hey, can we create that in Arizona like we did in Houston? Because people are talking about this restaurant all the time, everywhere I go, in a variety of settings.
Well, I appreciate that. Matt had built this restaurant one handshake at a time. One handshake at a time. And we carry that throughout the culture of our company. And that is, how do we ensure that everybody's getting the one handshake at a time, whatnot? Well, we collect business cards. We collect business cards, and we count them, and everybody keeps their count on the business card. We know that our teams are shaking their hands. But with the business cards, we then turn around and we'll send a thank you card. Thank you for being a part of us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you for coming in and watching the Astros game with us. Go Stros. But that's how we ensure that the way this restaurant and this company is built, one handshake at a time, continues to grow. And here we are celebrating 10-year anniversary because Matt and Jen stood in this restaurant for a good 3, 5, 6 years, shaking everyone's hand, building their competition, building an incredible reputation.
And I mean, we were talking to Matt the other day, talking about this anniversary coming up, 10 years, and he was trying to sort of wrap his head around a VIP list. And he's like, it's too long.
Come
It's
on.
Everybody's a VIP.
Everybody is a VIP.
Right.
It truly, and that's really how, he operates, how you guys operate, and you feel that personal connection when you walk into no matter what Federal Grill it is, right?
That's it. Shepherd is very near and dear to everyone's heart in the company. You walk in and the nostalgia, the feeling in here is like, wow. You can see that there are some footprints of some very special people in this building. The pictures, the quotes on the walls. We have folks in this restaurant and this company that have been here since the beginning.
That's amazing.
There's cooks that will tell you, I've been here 10 years. I'm ready for the party.
That's a testament, though, to the culture. That's so cool.
So the party that you're speaking of, anyone can come?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And let's tell them the date.
That's
the 10-year anniversary.
It's going to be on Thursday, April 20th. And it's a Gatsby-themed bash. We're going to have a band. We're going to have a DJ. It's going to start early with the band and get the party started with the DJ later on. We'll have some nice little, appetizers, handhelds, and some drinks flowing. Some old bartenders from the good old days are going to come back.
Celebrity action.
Yeah, a little celebrity guest appearance.
I could guess a few. I'm just
absolutely.
It's going to be really fun.
Gatsby themed. There's going to be some prizes for the best dressed. I'm going to be dressed up. I know Jenna's going to look fine. Yeah. And so, Matt and Jen and all the originals. I've had so many folks reach out, and this is going to be one heck of a 10-year party.
It is. It's going to be amazing.
We're all super excited about it. Super excited.
It's going to be really cool. And the fun thing is to showcase the original location, right?
Absolutely.
Some of us may live closer to other locations, so we go there more often, but this place does. It's like a blueprint of 10 years of history, like all the sweat and work and passion that went into making what is now
Stress.
5 locations. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
5.
not easy. It's not easy. It was a journey, and it's pretty incredible to celebrate that.
It's really incredible, and it's just a blessing to be a part of the team. It really is. So, watching all this growth, being a part of it, watching how much passion and energy Matt, Bryce, and Jen put into growing this business, the sacrifice I see from the outside looking in, but also that leads us to do the same.
Yeah.
We're opening up our new downtown location on McKinney. That's exciting. That's a big restaurant.
How exciting is that?
What's
the
the
photos
timeline?
just went up. Yeah,
Yes.
let's talk about that a
the
little
si-
because
the
it
s-
is gorgeous.
It's downtown, so we're going to have a place to pregame for the Astros and Rockets and
Someone's
any event.
clearly an Astros fan.
Absolutely.
I am too.
Sort
I'm
of.
really
Yeah.
excited.
It's so exciting. We're looking at opening in October. Downtown businesses and community has already been reaching out. They're so excited. We're getting pictures from all sorts of folks that are officing down there, so we're truly excited. We have a coffee shop going in with 4WD Coffee.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be very cool, very good
really good coffee, by the way.
Absolutely.
They're on the show.
Having a little now. We've had them on the show. They're amazing.
A little something special for downtown. We know we're going to have an incredible lunch crowd. We're gonna kick up the catering and offsite events,
corporate type lunches,
anything
and that kind
you
of
need.
thing. Yeah,
And we'll
that
have
makes sense.
and we'll have a cool grab and go section there as well. So if you're in your office and you just need to grab something quick, grab it and take it up and have your lunch.
Like you said, perfect place if you want to have a nice dinner, cocktails before the Rockets, the Astros. I mean, there's so
Absolutely.
much going on in downtown now. I love that it's sort of revitalizing, and I feel like this is only going to help.
And once again, we're just blessed to be a part of it,
Yeah,
right? The
it's really
revitalization,
cool.
the fact that the developers thought of us to come into this building. We're going to have 3 different private dining room areas as well, so we'll have some space for meetings and events. There's a green space on the roof that we can book as well, not on the roof, but the second story.
Nice.
That we can use for any event that's going to be outdoor rooftop. Right?
Thank you, my 50th birthday, guys.
What?
It's coming up soon.
50? No
Couple
way.
years.
Another
this time.
decade or so.
I plan. I'm a planner.
No way.
Honey, did you hear that? The green space.
No, it's exciting. It's a beautiful project.
What else is coming up? I mean, there is so much going on at Federal Grill all the time. If you missed Easter just by a few minutes ago, or a couple weeks ago, whenever you're listening to this,
That's it.
It's amazing. Easter's always amazing at Federal Grill. But what's coming up next?
So we have, but then we have Mother's Day, which is the Olympics. It's the Super Bowl for restaurant industry folks. Mother's Day is huge all day. It's a all day event.
Brunch and dinner.
Brunch and dinner, prefix menu. Then we'll go into the Kentucky Derby party. That is our thing.
What month is the Derby? I forget.
May. So
Okay.
I think
Well,
the
something every
Derby
month.
is May 6th, and then Mother's Day is May 14th. So it's back-to-back
Big month. Big
amazing stuff happening at Federal.
Absolutely.
All
April,
locations.
April and May are are big months for the restaurant industry. That whole second quarter and fourth quarter are huge in the restaurant business in Houston.
It's been fun to see, just as an aside, Federal started posting Mother's Day stuff on the Facebook channels.
Already?
Already, because
Okay.
you'll run out. You won't get a reservation if you don't make your reservation soon, you guys. Either on our website, thefederalgirl.com, or OpenTable. But I keep seeing moms sharing it to their kids, like, "Hi, hi,
Don't forget.
We actually,
y'all don't forget to make a Mother's Day reservation,
and
you will be in trouble."
We actually haven't even started posting about the Derby parties really a lot, and folks are already starting to post
Derby.
for us. The Derby parties.
Derby party,
so
we
much
almost
fun.
don't even have to tell people.
It's
they
so
just
much
show
fun.
up in full garb, it's amazing.
So we go to the racetrack. We buy tickets for the horses. We pass those out. So you actually get a shot of winning off of these tickets that we provide for everybody who comes to the party and orders a mint julep. We have the
So
shot
fun.
luge, the shot block. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fun it's just a good time. And then, of course, again,
The
best
costumes,
dressed,
yep.
best hats. There's costume parties. There's couple parties. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun.
I want to remind people we're talking with Eric Aldis, the culinary director at the Federal American Grill, covering all the locations. Eric's there all the time. Eric, I was at the grill in Hedwig Village, and a bear walks in, says to the bartender, "I want a whiskey and a soda." The bartender said, "Why the big pause?" He said, "I don't know. I was born that way."
Oh, dear.
I'm using that
Wait,
dad joke, by the way.
Wait, that was a dad joke.
Yeah, I'm using that.
That's a
That
good
sounds like
one.
something my
Yes.
husband would say. Now,
absolutely.
I have. There's
Why
a
the big
rumor you may
pause?
have a joke also.
Yeah, I do have a joke. It's just not,
It's not
appropriate
appropriate?
for this setting.
Shocking, Eric.
Come have a whiskey and I'll tell it to you, though.
God.
We also have, we've got a lot of graduations and proms
Yes.
and any kind of special events. Those are big time for us.
Yeah, talk about, like, every location has private spaces, whether it's patio, rooms, whiskey room, dining room.
Absolutely. We all have our private dining rooms. We put together these special menus that, don't break the bank. We know we have large families coming in for these events. We know that it's high school kids coming in for their prom celebration. So we put together special menus so that it's something that's feasible for them. They can book off of that, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a nice place. It's not too over the top.
Yeah.
We have locations that are centrally located next in the school districts, Katy ISD, up in the Woodlands, Hedwig Village. Here we have St. Thomas right down the street from the Shepherd location, and so it's a good place to go and have a good time.
And you guys do a really good job at that. Personally, I this last year booked one of the rooms at the Hedwig Village location for my boys' homecoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had 30 kids in there. They were in and out in an hour and a half. Great menu that they loved. I think it was like steak and burger options, or you can kind of work with the event coordinator to make it whatever you want, figure out your price point. It was really nice.
Absolutely.
And the kids loved it because it's nice and it feels special, but it, again, doesn't break the bank for the parents.
And we're very respectful of their time as well. We know they have a dance after this,
Yeah.
or they're coming from a graduation. So we know that it's still got to be nice, but also they have a timeline of where they want to be, whether they're going to the prom or they're going to some kind of special little party event afterwards, right?
Yeah. The after parties. Don't get me started with
Yes, ma'am.
teenagers. Lord have mercy.
That's it.
Real quick, before we take a break, let's zero in on a menu item or two. And one of the ones that comes to mind, I don't know why, but I'm thinking about a hamburger. Your hamburgers are tremendous at
So
all the
good.
locations, but there's a story behind the hamburger. It's not excellent as far as flavor goes without a reason. Let's tell people about the construction, how you even thought of it, and what you're doing to make it so tasty.
So a burger is very tricky, okay? A burger is a meal in your hands. So we start with the highest quality Texas Wagyu beef that you can get. We've partnered with RC Ranch. They've got ranches in Brazoria and Matagorda County, Angleton, where they talk like this.
Careful.
This is Wagyu raised on Texas saltgrass, and it is divine. I tell folks that that our burger is actually better for you than a piece of salmon because of the omega-3s and the unsaturated fats that are carried in
wow.
this beef. Yeah, it's not a yellowy fat. It's a nice, clear, juicy burger that runs down your elbow, and then the
There
way
we
a
go.
burger is stacked. Okay,
That's why I asked.
burger has to be stacked.
I'm
You
getting
have
hungry,
to
Bill.
you have to butter the bun and you have to toast it.
Oh, yeah.
The way the burger is stacked. It's got to have the salad underneath the meat with the cheese and your condiments. The condiments act like a salad dressing once the fat from the burger hits it. So lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion. The heat from the burger will slowly melt the onion a little bit. Then the acid from the pickle, the lettuce and tomato are your salad, and all of those flavors together. The bread kind of acts like a chewy little crouton, puts everything together. And then on the side, we have our hand-cut Kennebec potato French fries, which
So good.
I'm so obsessed about these French fries. Not just eating them, but the technique
Delicious,
that goes
yeah.
involved. We figured out a cooking technique with the team. Chef LJ was highly involved in that, out of Katie, who we talked to a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And we can take our hand-cut fries through our process. You can get them at your house, or you can take them to go or take them home, and they're still crunchy, golden brown, delicious, seasoned an hour later. Enjoy.
Eric
Well, I know
Aldis,
what I'm ordering later
yes,
for
ma'am.
lunch.
chemistry director. I mean, it really is chemistry,
It
right?
is
As you
cool,
describe it
though.
like
Absolutely.
Well, and it's through trial and error. Like, you guys don't just slap a burger on a plate. There's a formula to every single thing that you put on that menu. You test it out. You make sure it's decadent and delicious. You know.
We get a lot of pictures on social media with our cheeseburger, and if it is not stacked right, and
Someone's gonna pay.
somebody sees the picture. I've had screenshots sent to me and be like, "What's wrong with this burger?" I'm like, "Lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion. It's not stacked right." So
You're like,
that's
off a
how it
couple
goes.
where's
degrees.
Waldo?
And listen, I've even forgot to mention the bacon. So we add
yeah.
on some crispy applewood smoked bacon to that, and that's our burger.
And is the Matty B's sauce on the burger, or no? That's on
It can-
something different.
yeah, it can be added. It can be added for
got
sure.
Got it.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break, regroup. We're going to come right back. We're talking with Eric Aldis, the culinary director of the Federal American Grill. And here we are, Successful Living with Jenna and Bill, once again on location. Oh, yeah, the original location here in Houston, Texas. You can see the show at radiobill.net. Let's take a quick break. Welcome back, everybody. Again, on location with Jenna and Bill, Successful Living at the Federal American Grill, Shepherd Drive here in Houston, Texas. So wherever you're listening, that's where we're at. And we're back with Eric Aldis, the culinary director. So we have a few minutes, guys. What should we do?
Well, I would say Successful Living is an appropriate title today because you've successfully made us hungry, Eric.
Absolutely.
I'm ready for a burger.
That was
my
by
job.
design.
Yeah, that's my
Cheeseburger,
job.
egg rolls. He's
And
like,
not just us, but everybody listening.
everybody
Absolutely.
listening. So if you're listening, if you're on a highway for sure, odds are there's a Federal Grill close to where you are. Put it in your phone, wheel in, and get some deliciousness.
I have a new saying. As people listen, find your grill.
Find
There you
your
go.
grill.
Find your-
Hashtag
Eric,
find your grill.
Find your
Bill?
grill. So you could be driving, even in Arizona, you could be driving
Yeah.
around, find your
Right.
grill,
Find it.
pull over.
That's it. Love it.
Okay.
It's amazing. I mean, I think, just for people who don't know, we're here at the original Federal Grill, which is coming up on the 10-year anniversary.
It's incredible.
We've mentioned it, but I'll throw it in one more time. April 20th is the 10-year anniversary party. It's going to be off the chain. My kids would make fun of me for saying that, but
Off the chain, Mama.
It's okay. I know I'm old school.
I'm not familiar
I'm
with
old
the
school.
kids' expression. I'm out of that loop.
It's going to be exciting. But what else is coming up? I mean, Federal does so much in the communities in which the restaurants live. You know, we have a really exciting charity event coming up, near and dear to my heart because I happen to be on the board of Candlelighters, which is they provide emotional and financial support for kids with cancer and their families.
God bless them.
When a kid is diagnosed with cancer, it impacts the whole entire family. One of the either the mom or dad generally has to stay at the hospital, wants to stay at the hospital with their child through months and months of treatment. Parking just went up to $19 a day. Don't get me started because it's criminal.
That is.
That Federal Grill is really helping in a couple of ways, right?
Absolutely. First off, we're throwing a little toy drive, so you can stop by any Federal and drop off a toy to help support the Candlelighters. And then we have this big margarita festival.
Yes.
It's gonna be
so fun.
Yeah,
When
it's
is that?
That is
April 15th,
Mm-hmm.
and tons of restaurants are there. We're going to have a big spot, a corner spot. Look for Federal Grill.
Please do.
It's going to be amazing. What's going to happen there?
We've done this a few times now with the candlelighters. This is our first event over at the Kirby Ice House over in the Memorial area.
Right.
So we're super excited. We have taken our famous cheeseburger egg rolls. We turned them into a taco, so we can just go with the theme.
I mean, what could possibly be better?
Yeah, and then it's a Don Julio sponsored event. Thank you, Don Julio, for the sponsorship as well. And we're gonna do a ceviche. And in the ceviche, we're going to have a Don Julio tequila dressing.
Yeah.
So, it's almost like a little mini margarita
Okay.
dressing to go with the ceviche. And that's
I've
the
not
food
heard
part.
of that. A Don
That-
Julio integrated
that's 'cause he
into
invented it.
the mad science.
Yeah. I'm going to get
The mad
a
scientist.
big Don Julio patch for my chef jackets.
I love it. I love
but-
it.
Of the Don. I have a bottle at home.
Oh,
Don
that a
Julio.
boy.
I didn't open it yet, but anyway.
I'm Texan, so I tell, folks are like, oh, what do you like to drink? I'm like, well, I've got margaritas in my blood.
Yeah.
Little ginger margarita.
That's so awesome.
But so we're excited about that. Of course, we're going to be shaking some awesome margaritas.
Perfect
Jason,
margaritas.
Jason, and that's our number one seller, by the way, in all of our drinks.
The margarita.
The margarita from a bourbon bar. But Jason and Jerry, they'll be out there just shaking away. We'll have some few surprises out there as well to kind of go with the theme.
Yeah.
And, any competition we play to win. So all those other restaurants out there, you better bring it.
You're on notice. Coming home with a trophy.
Always.
You recently came home with a trophy
We've been batting pretty good.
at
We've
the
been doing-
Wild West Brew Fest
Yeah, out there in
Katy.
Katy. Yeah, it was awesome. Got a big trophy, about 5.5 feet.
Grand champion. Yeah, that trophy was almost as tall as I am. I mean, it was
And what
insane.
was it was for?
That was for the Wild West Brew Fest. It's actually the largest
wow.
beer festival, and they do an incredible event out in Katy there. If you're ever wanting to check it out on the west side, so we just we put together. We did a VIP event the night before, and then we came back and did our shrimp and grits and took home the trophy, baby.
So fun. No
Congratulations.
rest for the wicked, right?
Never rest.
No. We've
So,
got, yes.
minute or two. I'll tell you this, Eric. I told you about the bear.
Yeah.
A little bit later, a
Oh, dear.
termite walks in and asks me, "Where's the bartender?" All right, now I'll let you think about that one. Where's the
dear.
bartender?
I got it. He's
Okay.
looking for some wood.
There you go.
I think someone gave Bill a dad jokes book. I'm
That's
pretty
my
sure.
last joke.
My husband has a dad jokes book.
Maybe
and we
for
all
him.
cringe.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm stealing that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, that's it.
hysterical.
That's it.
Well, there's so much. I mean, we could talk for days, but there's so much coming up.
Absolutely. All the events, and then you can also just come in for a
Just
date night.
Just come in.
Yeah, just come
Pop
check it
by
out.
for happy hour.
Absolutely. Our crowds at these
Or
restaurants.
brunch.
There's
Any-
fun crowds.
Absolutely.
Fun crowds.
In the baseball games, if the Astros are out of town and you're not going to the stadium, come watch it at the bar. Come in for a great date night.
Yeah.
Try some of the new menu items we have coming out. The new drink menus are amazing.
Well, we
It's gonna
also
be
we want to
exciting.
tell people too, as they listen here and they get excited about the food, they hear behind the scenes of the food, the hamburger, but these remotes will ride again. So if people are enjoying this as we're at the various federal grills, we're going to be doing this on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there's a
We're
lot to look
excited.
forward to and a lot to learn about what goes on and what you're doing in the next months and months and months.
There we go.
And it's always getting bigger, better, growing. There's no rest. So
And Jenna, you're helping companies like the Federal American Grill with your company, which is called,
P&R Creative.
the website is,
prcreativegroup.com.
and
She's the best.
she is the best. And a final word, Eric, before we close down the show.
Can't wait to see you all to have some cheeseburger egg rolls and a nice glass of bourbon.
Nice.
See all y'all soon.
And until next week, thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Bill and Jenna. Just simply go to radiobill.net. That's right, you can see the show. You can see the super bar and the surroundings here in the restaurant at radiobill.net. We will see you next week. Right, Jenna?
Yes.
Until
See you
then, thanks for listening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.